Hey guys, Red here, and today I'm doing this solo. I'm doing a solo interview, but it is okay because it is with the ever so audacious, so gorgeous, so talented BB Easton is here. We are so thrilled to have her at Shadows and Seduction, and I got to meet her this past year at Sinners, and I was not aware. I'm just standing at Sinners, and in walks in this Viking of a man, Eric Nolan, and this tiny, gorgeous redhead BB Easton, and they both walk in, and I'm just like, "Oh, what are they doing here?" We had no idea, they just showed up, and when I found out that she was wanting to do the podcast with me and willing to do the podcast with me, I just couldn't wait because I couldn't wait to pick her brain and learn so much more about her, and I just finished the interview with her, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear some amazing things about herself, her family, her journey, and all the cool things she has coming up. So stay tuned, and here is Miss BB Easton. Hey guys, welcome back to the Dark Collective podcast. It is just myself today, but it doesn't matter because we have the ever so gorgeous, so lovely, so sexual BB Easton is here. Hello, my dear.
Hello, gorgeous. So happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so stoked. Like it's literally when I met you, I was just like, what is she doing here? Like we all were just only Jen knew you guys were coming, so I was just like, it's BB. Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't fangirl, don't be weird.
No, I feel like it's perfect that it's just the two of us. It feels like we're having a little sleepover. Just us and our hair color.
I
Like
know.
that's
Redheads
those are the
unite.
third and fourth guests on this podcast.
I love that. So first of all, how are you? How's life? You've been very busy, but how have you been?
So busy, but that's the best. I'm a workaholic, so just give me all the work and I'll be overjoyed. But yeah, so busy. I've started writing another book. I've paused writing that book to start working on a pitch for a Devil of Dublin TV show.
What?
Yes, so
Oh
that's been
my
taking up a
God.
ton of my time, which is amazing. For anybody who doesn't know me, I wrote a book that inspired a Netflix show in like 2021 called Sex Life, which was an amazing process,
Mm.
but I was not really involved. Like they just kind of took it and did their magic, and I could just stay home in my PJs and like enjoy, just watch their stress from afar and be like, doing great, guys. But this time I'm like the guy doing the pitch and making the pitch deck and writing the pilot. Well, I have a co-writer to help me, an Irish TV writer, which is really cool. A guy named Mark Cleary is helping me. So the two of us are putting together pitch materials, but it's been so fun because I'm a control freak. So like, even though it's stressful and scary, it's still been the best experience. So, and I'm writing a weekly Quinn script, which is audio erotica, an app called Quinn for sorry, I just dropped my earbud. Uh
Okay.
for my Irish narrator Eric Nolan. So yeah, I've got a lot of plates that I'm spinning right now, and you can hear how manic I sound because I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about this. I just There's like that adage about, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Like I really feel like I jump out of bed and just am raring to go because I love everything I'm working on. It's just I'm so fortunate. I'm so fortunate.
Well, to be honest with you, though, I feel like you're a type of woman that thrives in chaos. Like straight up, you can see it. Like you're just like, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But first of all, I love how you just skimmed over all of that, though. You were just talking about it like you were talking about the way, like, oh yeah, my book was kind of on Netflix. It's no big deal. Oh, and I'm also doing like, this is why I love you. It's just like you are incredibly humble, which is very refreshing, especially with all of the amazing things that you're doing, and also the Quinn app. Like I know all of these things, obviously, but
Yeah.
like you guys, this is for me, it's just huge just because I also know how kind BB is in person. So incredibly sweet. It's really funny to see you standing next to Eric though, just because you're just this tiny little thing next to it's just funny. I don't know. Just because I'm tall and I'm like when I stand next to Bethany, I also feel like the other Dark Collective, I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
hey dude, what's up? Like, you just kind of
I
look down.
know. It's so
But no,
funny.
so first of all, we're so excited to have you for Shadows and Seduction. You got to swing by to Sinners this past year and just kind of get like a
Yes.
taste of what we do, which was so awesome. Did you have fun?
I had the best time. I had the best time, especially because I wasn't signing. I never go to signings not as an author, like an author.
Mhm.
So to be there and just have the freedom to walk around and like pop in and say hi to people and not have to lug my books around and not have to stand in heels for 8 hours, it was fantastic. It was the
You're
dream.
very
So
happy. You're just like,
shadows will
"Yes,
also be fun.
yes." No,
Just
I'm
not
not
as
worried.
fun. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You're so
I'm really looking forward to that too.
Oh,
I love New
yay.
Orleans.
Well, the cool
Yeah.
thing is for today's interview, Allison and I reached out to a bunch of the readers and got questions. So a lot of your questions are actually from readers, which was really cool for us to do
Oh,
this time
cool.
around. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with what genres do you write?
I am you already got me pegged where you were like, I
Uh-huh.
feel like you thrive in chaos. My genres reflect that. So I try to do something different every time I start a new project, which is terrible for marketing, terrible for building an author career, but I it keeps everything fresh. Like if I'm going to be engaged in a story, it needs to feel new and different to keep
Mhm.
my attention. I can't just do the same thing every time. So I started off with a comedic memoir called 44 Chapters About Four Men. That was my first book. I mean, it's very sexy, but it's about my life. It's written in a comedic memoir style. And then I did a spin-off series, the 44 Chapters spin-off series, which is I fictionalized it more. So
Mhm.
that series reads more like new adult romance, but it's based on true stories. So I had a
Mhm.
little more fun with that. I was like,
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm gonna take these things that happened to me and then like do the Netflix version, like
Mhm.
make it even more dramatic and
Mhm.
ridiculous. And after that, we were just talking about before we started recording about the Rain trilogy. That was my first fictional series. So the fact that you love it
I
means so
love
much
it.
to me because I had never written fiction before, like true fiction before. And I was terrified and like didn't know what I was doing and poured my heart and soul into it. But that was like apocalyptic dystopian romance.
Mhm.
So that was a big departure.
Mhm.
Then I did rom-com. And then I jumped over to dark Irish mafia romance, which was my last two books. And I'm loving that
Mhm.
space. Um, but that's why I'm so excited to be coming to Shadows and Seduction and to have come to Sinners and like met everybody because this is kind of a new world for me and I
Aw.
don't know everybody in that space. Like all of my author friends are more like contemporary and rom-com. So for you guys to like welcome me in with open arms and help me kind of meet some new darker romance readers and authors has been such a gift. So I really appreciate it.
Of course, and the funny thing is that when I got into the book world, just like you, like, I didn't know what genre I would like to read as a reader, right? Like, I was just kind of like, "Oh, yeah, I read Harry Potter." Like, it was like,
Right.
that was kind of like the only thing I read, but the thing is that, like, when I get to meet these authors doing these events, and I see that they do multiple different types of genres and different tropes, like, all that kinda stuff, I love myself a well-rounded author because then they give like I can read different types because if I need a palate cleanser, oh, they wrote one. Oh, they did fantasy. They wrote one. So it's kind of cool in that sense. I wish I had the power to say that I was a part of you coming to Sinners, but Jen makes all of those decisions. But the funny thing is I will not forget when she messaged us in our because we have a group chat. She was like, "You guys," and it was all in caps. BB Easton coming to Shadows, and we were like, "What?" Like, we were all excited,
Oh.
like, so stoked, because Jen had kinda hinted to it, but didn't say it yet because she's waiting to hear back from you, and it was just like, "Yes, we're very excited for you.
Oh,
We're
that's
so
the
excited."
sweetest. Well, thank
Of
you.
course. So, I have to ask just because you have done different, genres and all of this kinda stuff, but how did your author journey start? I love that you're laughing. Makes me happy.
It's so fucked up. Oh my God. So I was a school psychologist. I went
Oh.
to college for a very long time and got a job as a school psychologist. I had two very little kids. I was on maternity leave with my second, so she was a baby. My son had just started preschool. School psych is an incredibly stressful job. It's kind of like being a social worker almost, like the caseload that you have. I worked for a public school in the Atlanta area, public school
Mhm.
system. So I had like 2,400 kids that I was responsible
Wow.
for psychological services
Jesus.
in the Atlanta area. And I was part-time.
Oh my
So,
god.
and I had 2 kids of my own, and I had a mortgage, and I had a husband. So it was just an extremely stressful time in my life.
Mhm.
And my mom gave me 50 Shades.
Yeah, she
And that
did.
started my reading journey where I went, oh, where has this been all my life? So while I was up late at night nursing my daughter and needed to stay awake, I started reading romance novels on my phone. And I would kind of go back and forth, like for a palate cleanser, like you said, I would
Mhm.
do comedic memoirs. And so somewhere during that process, I realized I stumbled upon bad boy romance, like
Mhm.
tattooed guys, rock stars, like motorcycle club guys. And I went, oh, fuck, I dated these guys. I was like, this
I
was my
love
youth.
this.
This was before I married an accountant. This was my type. And I like, the more I read, the more I thought I could write these stories and not even make anything up. Like,
Mhm.
I know all these guys. I did all this fun, crazy, wild shit. And so I started writing stories about my own relationships, my
Mhm.
exes, but they came out in a comedic memoir voice.
Got it.
So they came out instead of like a romance novel, it was like I was telling funny stories and I was making it snarky and I was just being, it was a memoir.
Mhm.
And so that, but in my head, it was just a journal. It was something that was never going to
Oh.
see the light of day, ever, 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 ever. Like I told like deepest, darkest, most embarrassing stories about my exes, but I kept doing it because it felt so good to be that girl again.
Mhm.
Because the woman that I had become was fucking stressed and had no fun, and there were no tattooed men in my life at all, and it was like, "Oh, I remember her, like, fuck, that" it felt like that's me, and I almost don't know who this person is,
Mhm.
because being a school psychologist is such a serious, heavy job that it was like my personality was just gone. I'd come home and, like, I wasn't funny, I wasn't fun, I was just a void.
Mhm.
And so I just became addicted. Like I already wasn't sleeping because I had a baby, but I was when I was supposed to be sleeping, I was writing these stories
Of
because it
course.
was like an addiction of like being getting to be myself again, getting to have fun again vicariously through my past, which was
Mhm.
so weird. And I didn't tell anybody I was doing it. And then one night, speaking of sleep deprivation,
Mhm.
I came downstairs from putting my daughter to bed, my kids, and heard my laptop slam shut and came around the corner and my husband's sitting there looking very guilty on the couch. And I went, oh, like I must have left it open
Uh-huh.
and was like my stomach just
No.
dropped. And I was like, well, I'm getting divorced. Like, I don't know what he
That
read, but I
happens.
know what I wrote. And, um, and we didn't talk about it. And then the next day he came home from work and said, I got a babysitter, go get dressed. We're going out. And it was the first time we had like gone on a proper date in forever.
Mhm.
And um, I started noticing that things I had written about my husband was doing in multiple ways over
Sounds
the next like
familiar. I
few
feel like I've
weeks.
seen this before.
It was on Netflix, was it? So yeah, it was I went like, oh, this is a way for me. And I was a psychologist, so I'm like behavior
Mhm.
modification.
Yep.
So I thought, and my friend who's like the devil on my shoulder is also
Mhm.
a psychologist. And so she was like, girl, you know what you need to do is write just some bullshit in there. She was like, you just start making stuff up. Like, whatever you want this man to do, you just pretend that your ex did that, put it in your journal,
Mhm.
and just see what happens. And so this again, no one was going to see this. This wasn't for a book. This was my own entertainment. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I would write the fake journal for my husband to read, to accidentally stumble upon. That was like romance novel style, whatever. It was like, I want him to get a tattoo for me. So I'd write a story about one of my exes getting a tattoo for me. And then I'd wait and see what happened. Or I'd be like,
Mhm.
I want him to give me more compliments. So I'd write a story about one of my exes and like the sweetest like pet name that he gave me or whatever. And then we would, like, watch his behavior, my friend and I, and we'd talk about she'd be like, "So, has anything happened yet?" And then I would write the actual story, like, in a secret, secret, secret journal
Yeah.
about his response, and so it turned into this whole psychological behavior modification experiment, that he was an unwilling participant
Participant.
in, bless his heart, and, after a year of this, I went well, after sorry, I'll wrap it up, but basically, I then went to Sedona, Arizona, and met with a psychic, and this woman said, as soon as I sat down, "You're writing a book." And I said, "No, I'm sorry. I'm a school psychologist. I don't know what you're talking about." And she, like, got mad at me. She was, like,
Oh,
angry because I wasn't listening, and she was like, "You are writing a book. It is," and she gave me the whole timeline. She was like, "It's gonna come through you in 3 years. You're gonna reach new heights with it in 5 years. It's gonna change your life, blah, 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 blah." And I was like, "What the fuck is she talking about?" And then I thought, "Well, I am writing that journal." And I had a lot of I mean, I had, like, thousands of words in this thing by then, and I thought, "Oh, maybe I could turn that into a book." And so I started researching how to do that, and I ended up self-publishing it, and, um, it just blew up. And I used a pen name, like, I did not intend for anyone to read it. It was
Mhm.
just like, "Well, the psychic told me I'm publishing a book, so I might as well publish a book. It'll be fun.
Oh,
I won't tell anybody about it, but at least I could say, like, I did it for
mhm.
me," you know? And because of that, I left all the crazy, juicy, ridiculous stuff in it. Because I
Of
was like, "Well,
course.
it's fine, because nobody's gonna know it was me.
Yeah.
I'm not telling anyone. It's gonna sell 5 copies, doesn't matter." And so then it sold more than 5 copies, and then it became a show, and now I'm like, "Oh, fuck. What have I done? Everybody knows all my terrible secrets now." My mom has read it, like, my uncle has read it, it's disgusting. But I think that's why it was popular, was because
Yeah.
it was so refreshing for people to read, like, and say, "Oh, me too." Like, somebody actually said the thing that I was thinking too, but I wouldn't have if I had known people were gonna read it.
But it was the
So I'm
rawness
glad.
of it though. Like it's the
Yeah.
rawness of it, right? Like I love how excited you are, but it's during, even COVID, like everything, like everybody was looking for something raw because everyone was so stifled creativity,
Yeah.
their creativity was stifled, but also like their want to read, their want to engage, everything. So like that's where I mean, I literally when I found Sex Life, like the first time I watched it, I wouldn't even watch it when my husband was home because I was like embarrassed. Like I was like, oh God, what is he gonna do? And then now he's fine with it now, obviously.
Mhm.
But it's just I think it's incredible your story, and I have to ask though, because I know people listening will ask this. What does your husband think now?
Oh, now he's great. At the time, he was not. He was not at all. He hasn't read it. He does not read any of my
Oh,
books
okay.
because he would not respond with the appropriate amount of enthusiasm to
Mhm.
allow us to stay married. He
Okay,
is
we love
so
that.
flat and monotone that, like, if you read my entire book and I ask you how it was and you're like, "It was great, man," like, you have to leave. We cannot be together anymore. So I just need you to not read it. But also he needs to not read it for a variety of reasons.
Mhm. Yeah.
But no, at the time he's such a pessimist and I'm such an optimist. And I was like, "It's fine, it'll be fine. It's whatever, it's fine." And he was like, "This is gonna ruin my life and everything, and the sky is gonna fall and I'm gonna die." And so I published it anyway. But I was careful and I changed his name and I changed everything so that people
Mhm.
wouldn't be able to like find him. And no one has.
Mhm.
Um, and so when it came out and then it did well, and then the sky didn't fall, and then I started going to signings, he was like, "Wait, can I come?" And I was like, "Oh, you support it now that a
Oh, yeah.
vacation is involved?"
Of
And
course.
so he started coming with me, and then he started getting recognized, and people go, "Oh my god, is that Ken? Oh, will he sign my book?" And he had little fangirls, and then he was fucking sold. Then he's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna wear a little tie, and I'm gonna look all handsome, and sit at your table, and get all this attention." So, yeah, that was the turning point. Then he was on board. And the
I love
show, like,
that.
I was really worried throughout the show because they changed so much about the
Mhm.
book to make it juicy and make it like this great soap opera type of experience.
Mhm.
But when you're the person who's being portrayed doing things that you didn't really do, it can be kind of scary. And so watching those episodes with him and being like, "Oh, how's he gonna react?" Um, it did not matter what they had Cooper's character do. So we had them change the names from Ken to Cooper, so there was, like,
Mhm.
a little bit of separation there.
Okay.
Evidently, it didn't matter. They could have made his character a fucking cannibal because he looked so good. Mike Vogel in those suits looked so good that my husband was like, I'm great. I'm great. It doesn't matter what
I
that man does."
like, I will, I'm married, happily married, been married now for 5 years or 4 years, 4 years, yeah. But the thing is that I can appreciate a gorgeous man and woman, and I literally was just like, "Why are they so pretty? They're so
Why are they so
pretty.
pretty?
They're
I
so pretty."
know. Oh my god, everybody on that show is so pretty.
I
It's
know.
like it's the weirdest thing.
No, but you
It's
did
the
a great job,
weirdest
and, like, the
thing.
thing is you can see your book come through it, like, even though there are things that were changed, like, it was obviously you who created that story, and I remember when, in the book world, people were going haywire over the show, they're like, "Oh my god, it's so good," so I think it's amazing what you've done, like, I know it's like,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I'm a fan, I'm gonna be a weird fangirl, so it's fine, it's
Thank you,
totally everything's fine.
boo.
So we talked about it a little bit earlier, but I just finished the Rain trilogy. I was obsessed with it. Now, mind you, I'm an audiobook girly. Really don't read. I listen. It was so good. And it was something that, obviously I don't, again, I love talking about it because people see you and associate you with sex lives. And so I have to ask you, like, is this something you would ever do again? Would you ever think about adding to it? Is this a trope you would run with again?
I I really love like dark dystopian. I don't know, I'm just drawn to that kind of world.
Hmm.
I guess as a psychologist, it really found like those questions of like what would happen? What would humans do in this
Hmm.
situation? I want to know like the behavioral and the social ramifications. But as much as I love those settings,
Hmm.
the last time I wrote a dystopian series, the only time I wrote a dystopian series, evidently, according to my readers, it triggered a pandemic.
Fair, fair,
So
fair.
it came out, that series came out January of 2020.
You
And
triggered the pandemic, it's all baby Easton's fault.
I mean, end of January. It was like 6 weeks before the pandemic really hit.
Yeah.
And people were, and the things that I had written about were just when I was writing it in like 2019, it was like, oh, this will never happen. Like, people would probably do this and people would probably do that. And then the things I had written about all started coming true. All of these really specific things in the book started happening. And people were like, BB, you wherever if you have a Pinterest board somewhere, like I don't know what voodoo you did, but you need to like d- wipe your get rid of that vision board, get rid of that Pinterest board. Like you have unleashed hell because it was so specific. It was crazy the stuff that was happening that I had
Mhm.
just written about. And so it made it really hard for me to sell those books too. Because people were like, no, we're good. We don't need to read about the end of the world right now. Thanks. But it was nuts. And
Mhm.
Eric and I talk about it all the time. Eric's my narrator, and we do Quinn together. The stories that we write, so many of them come true in the craziest ways, or like aspects of them come true, or just like that. I do feel like I almost have some kind of magical power. So I'm scared. I'm like, I think I'm gonna stay away from dystopia for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, again, I loved it. I also love the way you wrapped the book up. It was nothing what I expected, which I thought was really cool. And for me, it was the token Hawaiian shirt throughout the whole book. That was like a small thing
Yes.
that I loved because my dad would wear Hawaiian shirts all the time. So like that was like a little bit sentimental for me. But I loved that you took the Barbie queen and turned her into what she became. So big fan of that series. Absolutely
Thank
loved it.
you. You know, the
Uh,
Hawaiian shirt was
the
a
Hawaiian
nod
shirt.
to Leonardo DiCaprio and Romeo and
I knew
Juliet.
it. I knew it. Okay, so because that's one of my all-time favorite movies, and I was like,
Oh,
where I could picture him, because obviously the long, kinda shaggy hair and the Hawaiian shirt
mhm.
with the guns, I was like, "That's Romeo and Juliet." Like, that's
That's Romeo
100%
and Juliet! I know,
yeah,
I didn't even mask it. I was like, "Listen, this is what we're doing."
yes, this is what's happening. Um,
Yes.
okay, so I love asking love asking this question. This is one of our reader questions. Was there a defining "Holy crap, this is happening" moment in your author career?
I feel like almost every moment has been one of those moments since the day that psychic told me I was writing a book.
Mhm,
It was like, we talked about authenticity, I guess. Like, I felt like I wasn't living a life that I was meant to live. No, I don't know if that's dramatic. I felt like I wasn't being myself
mhm,
in the life that I was living. I felt like I couldn't be myself. I felt like I was losing myself. And the second that I started just doing whatever the fuck I wanted and saying no to things, that's really hard for me. Like my whole life, that whole period of my 20s was me trying to do what I thought I was supposed to do.
mhm,
And the moment I started going, but this is what I really want to do, and this is what I really don't want to do, doors just started flying open. It
no.
was like the universe went, "Yes, yes, good girl. Keep
Mhm,
going. Yep, we're gonna open this one. Yep, yep, walk through that one. Here comes another one. Yep, keep going, keep going, keep going." And so I didn't really I don't wanna say I didn't try. I tried very hard. I tried very hard at everything I do. So I was calling agents and I was calling publishers. I was trying to make the book happen, but the doors that opened for me were things that I never expected. Like
mhm,
I was trying to find an agent because I thought I needed a publisher. I didn't know anything. I didn't know about indie romance. I was just like a school psychologist. And while I was trying to find an agent, I ran across I somebody gave me the number of a guy who turned out to be a talent manager in LA, not an agent. And he was like, "Oh, I have this producer friend. Your project sounds really cool." And I'm blowing this guy off. I'm like, "No, I'm sorry. I'm looking for a literary agent. Like, okay, you have a producer friend. Like everybody in LA has a producer friend." And like didn't take him seriously. And it turned he championed my book. His name was Larry, this like 60-year-old man. And he just loved it. And he did have a producer friend. His name is J. Miles Dale. And he
yeah.
just did Frankenstein. Like he
Oh,
did The
yeah?
Shape of Water. He's amazing. And he loved it and championed it. And like Colleen Hoover, I sent her an ebook. Like I'm a nobody, and I sent her
Mhm,
an ebook to her email and said like, "Hey, I thanked you in the acknowledgments. This is my first book. I just want you to have a copy of it because I adore you and I look up to you." And she freaking read it and posted about it on Goodreads and posted about it on social media. Like things like ridiculously outlandish things just started happening by me just being like, "Hey, I'm writing a book." And like people who could help me just appeared. And I try to cling to that and remember that every day of my life when I catch myself doing something I don't want to do or not doing something that I really do want to do, even if it feels like wrong or crazy or whatever. I go, this is the lesson, dummy. Like, remember, this is the lesson. Every time you just do the thing, magic happens.
mhm.
And it's been like that it's still like that. I started writing my first book 2013. So
Wow,
12
girl.
years
12
now. And
years.
it's just been like that the entire time. And I feel so fortunate, but I also not only fortunate that these things have happened, but fortunate that I learned the lesson,
Mhm.
that I saw the things happening and went, "Okay, this is the lesson. I need to keep doing this. I need to keep, being authentic and showing up as myself and saying yes to the things I want to and saying no to the things that I don't." And that's changed my life completely.
Well, I love that. You know, it your career is very interesting, and it's very cool just to learn exactly how it got started. I love that you have a supportive partner. We're here for that. But I also love just how humble you are with everything, because again, that's crazy that it just went just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Like that's so cool. But you're also just so genuinely kind. And I think that also shows everybody like, hey, just because things happen doesn't mean you have to be a dick about it. Like be kind, be happy, be grateful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it is so cool. Like you're BB Easton, you
Oh,
get it.
yes. Thank you.
So this question we got a lot actually, and it's just funny
Okay.
because like we get a lot of people say that they don't even do it. Are you reading anything right now?
I actually am. I don't get to read as much as I would like to. That's one of the nasty side effects of becoming an author is now
Mhm.
you have to write all the books instead of read all the books. But I'm actually reading Lights Out by Nevesta Allen. I'm
Oh.
finally reading it, the last person in the world. And I'm doing the audio, and I don't normally do audio. That's funny. You're like, you
Oh,
normally do
oh, the
audio.
audio to
But
that
I
book is everything. I
it's
loved that book.
so good, it's so good. They crushed it. Both of those narrators just blew me away. So
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying that. And I'm trying, like I said, I want to go to your events so that I can
Yeah.
meet more dark romance authors and readers, but also I'm trying to read more books in that space. Like when I started writing in that space, I really hadn't read many of those books. I was
Mhm.
just drawn to that vibe. So yeah, I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah, no, that book that I've read both books. The third one comes out, I think, in June of next year.
Yeah.
But I got to meet Nevesta this year, and she doesn't do a lot of events, so it was really cool for me to meet her. And I believe you met her too.
I got to meet her at
Yeah,
Sinners. Yeah, it was so
yeah.
great.
She is by far one of the kindest, sweetest human beings. But that book, I've never laughed so much in a sex scene than I did in that book.
It's
And
such a
it's
great balance. It's such,
oh
and
yeah.
Bryn Weaver does that too. I love
Hmm.
it. Like when something is really dark to have those moments of levity, like it just there's a really great balance there with like humor and tenderness and then also, a little bit of murder, a little bit of dark,
Little bit of
a
murder.
little bit of stalking. It's got everything.
No, and the story is really great, and you are reading a
Mhm.
very popular book, so the readers they're gonna love that. They're gonna be into that. But yeah. So okay, so moving on. When you are not writing, what are some of the favorite things you like to do?
I mentioned earlier that I'm a workaholic. That is
Mhm.
that is what I like to do.
Oh,
I am
good.
constantly working. I was up until 4 o'clock in the morning last night editing a Quinn story. Like I just don't stop. So it has for something to make me stop working, it has to be something I really, really love. And that's,
Mhm.
spending time with my kids who are 15 and 12 now, which
Oh,
is crazy because when I
wow.
started writing, they were a baby and a
Babies.
preschooler. Um, and I love walking in the woods. I live in the fucking woods and I have this amazing trail behind my house. But even when I go walk in the woods, I start dictating a story into my phone. If I don't have people with me, I'll be like, "Oh, I have this idea and I have this idea." So it's just like it doesn't stop. I love to travel. Like that will get me away from my laptop, but then I'll end up like, "Oh, I'll do a signing while I'm there." Or, "Oh, like I turn everything into work." It's terrible, but it's also great because I love it and it's my whole personality at this point. But, yeah, I turn everything into work basically. But
Well,
yeah,
that's just your
I love
passion, and that's
it
okay.
is.
I'm a hairstylist, right? Like, I do all this book stuff for fun because I love my best friend and I want to support her, but I also love the book
Mhm.
world. But I'm not just a hairdresser anymore. I own a salon now, and now I travel with 4 different companies and I teach on stages and I do all
That's
these things,
amazing.
and it doesn't feel like work. It is something that I
Yeah,
love to do, and it's like it's very rare that you do love your work so much that even on your days off you want to work. It's kind of
yeah,
a hard thing to explain. Like today's
yeah,
my day off. What am I doing? Donating my time to go teach at a beauty school. Like I think it's so it's so awesome just to hear someone who is as passionate as I am about what I do, even though it's something completely
yeah.
different. So I love that. I'm here for it.
Congratulations, that is huge.
I just like playing in hair, dude. I just like to make people look real pretty. Like, okay. So looking back, what would 20 something BB think of your life right now?
Oh my god. She would weep. Like I said, 20-year-old baby was stressed. 20-year-old baby was stressed the fuck out. Not only like when I started writing, I guess actually I was 30 by then. But
Uh-huh.
leading up to that, like my whole 20s, I was in, you know, it takes 7 years of college to become a school psychologist, and I went to college in inner city Atlanta. So I
Mhm.
commuted an hour in. It was not a fun college experience. It was like you're in the shit.
Mhm.
So, but I had to work also. So I would work as a preschool special ed teacher for kids with autism
Oh, wow.
during the day, which is possibly the most grueling, emotionally draining job there is. And then I would drive an hour downtown, and then I would do night school downtown, and then I would come home and stay up until like 3 in the morning, do writing term papers or just like doing whatever my life.
Mhm.
Um, Everything was in service of the future or um someone else or
Mhm.
expectations or whatever. And it just felt like I was working so, so hard to continue to work so, so hard, you know?
Yeah.
I had a horrible eating disorder during that time,
Oh,
I think
wow.
because I was so stressed out and I'm a perfectionist and I'm an overachiever. So it was like, well, this is something that I can control and this is something that I also can be the best at. And I can also like, this is another expectation that I have that I need to manage. And looking back, I just want to like get in a time machine and I want to go like sit next to that girl on the couch and just pull her little head over onto my
Oh.
chest and be like, just tell people to fuck off. Like, it's okay. You can do that. You can just not give a shit about all these expectations that you think are so serious because as soon as you do stop giving a shit, magic is gonna happen. Like,
Mhm.
it's not that serious. None of this matters. And back then it mattered so all of it mattered so much, you know?
Mhm.
Um, that yeah, if somebody had been able to show up and just show me like a slideshow, a PowerPoint of what my life would look like once I finally let go of all of that conditioning and all of those expectations, I would have just wept. So
Aw.
I feel that was necessary. Like for a while, I was kind of bitter. I was like, because I had a lot of pressure from my parents who were also artists. My
Mhm.
parents were a musician and an artist. And so they were like, you have to get a good job. You can't be a writer. You can't be a painter. Like, seriously, look at us. We have no money. Like, go please. You're a smart girl. Go do something that pays you a pension.
Mhm.
And so I didn't have that support. And for a long time, I thought, like, God, well, how much further would I be in my career if like people had supported me?
Mhm.
But looking back, I think that all of that experience I have in psychology and in teaching and just in the world has given me an education and a perspective that I use every day. So
Mhm.
I definitely learned from all of it and grew from all of it. And I think I appreciate what I have now more because I know what real stress looks like. Some
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, it's so stressful." I'm like, "This is this is a cakewalk." Like I know stress.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. But yeah, I would love that opportunity to go talk to my 20-year-old self. Just be like, "Relax, honey, relax."
Relax. I always say I don't even know where I heard this from, but I heard this one time where it said, "Your 20s are for making a mistake. Make mistakes, do things you'd never do now." Like that was what your 20s were for. Your 30s are you learn from your mistakes. Okay, maybe I
Yeah.
shouldn't have done that. Maybe I could have done it this way. But then your 40s are enjoying the spoils because now you know what to do, what not to do, how to fix what you didn't do, like,
Yeah.
and ever since I've heard that, because I'm going to be 42 in like, I don't know, 3 weeks or something like that. And I love my 40s. I fucking love them. Like 20s, fuck off. I did some shit.
Yeah.
I did some shit. My 30s, were great. That's when I met my husband and I
Mhm.
moved out of a really bad situation. And like, and now my 40s, I'm just like, I'm chilling. I get to hang out, like, and,
Yeah.
like, just do stuff like this, like
Yeah.
you would have told me back in 2020, Red, you're going to be a part of a group of women that's going to start the first dark romance event in the United States, but then also you're going to do a podcast where you get to meet all the authors that you read. I'd be like, you're funny. I know how to read. Like,
And
but
also you're gonna own your own salon
yeah,
and
it's
teach
just
hair and
it's two totally different worlds, right?
yeah.
And that it's really cool because all four of us have different jobs. Well, Jen, this is her job now, but
Yeah.
me, Joy, and Bethany all have very different jobs. And it's once you kind of figure out what you want to do and you find out that you love it and then you actually find something else that can just contribute to the love of that, that's how
Yeah.
I feel about it. I feel that this is like the nurturing to my soul, the book world is to my creative side in my hair world. Like that's how it just kind of like
Yeah.
correlates. But then I get to meet really awesome authors like yourself. And it's so crazy because I know that there are readers out there that are going to listen to this and be like, I can't fucking believe she gets to just talk to BB Easton. You know what I mean? So it is an honor and it's really cool. And
Oh,
I just think it's so cool.
thank
Of
you.
course.
So
So there's a
sweet.
question
Thank
I'm going to
you.
ask you. By the
Okay.
way, we don't lie. I sent her all the questions ahead of time, but this one I did not because I want to just give you a really big shout out. So there's a story that everybody wants to hear, and that is how you met Eric Nolan and talk to us about Quinn.
Oh, Eric. So Devil of Dublin was my first book that, well, that's not true. I needed a British guy for group therapy, but I needed an Irish narrator for Devil of Dublin.
Mhm.
And I needed him to also be able to do a Russian accent, a Ukrainian accent, and an American female accent. And that was almost impossible.
Mhm.
I would like find people on TikTok and Instagram and reach out to them, like guys who would like read poems, like Irish
Mhm.
men with like good accents. And none of them would do an American female accent. They were like, I don't even understand what you're asking. Why would I do that? No.
Mhm.
And I found Eric on ACX, which is Amazon Audible's like self-publishing platform for audiobooks.
Mhm.
And he just had like a little couple of snippets on there and thought he sounded great and reached out to him and he was like, yeah, sure. He did an audition for me. He sounded amazing. He was able to do the American female accent. This man is 6'4", like you said, 250 pounds, looks like a linebacker, and he has the voice of an angel. He can sing like a freaking soprano. Like
Oh,
he's
wow.
he's just amazing, his voice, but he can have a very soft, lovely voice.
Mhm.
And I was like, sold. This is
Mhm.
amazing. Unbeknownst to me, he had never done an audiobook before. So
Oh.
he was like scrambling to wing it as he went, like not scrambling to wing it like he did a terrible job, as in he overachieved because he was so intimidated by the project. And he was like, well, I have to do a great job. So he said he recorded like every single sentence 3 times just
Oh,
through,
jeez.
and this is a big book.
Mhm.
It took him, we had the time, but it took him months and months. And when I heard it, I I can't even express like how blown away I was because I've done audiobooks, I've listened to narrators, I've worked with talented narrators, but his delivery was not acting. His delivery was he was Kellen. That's the
Mhm.
best way I can put it. He was Kellen. And I like he will just make you weep when you listen to that audiobook. And I was like, well, I can only write Irish heroes for the rest of my life. Like I'm fucked. This is it. This is it. I can't go
Mhm.
back now. This is unbelievable. And everybody who's listened to that audiobook says the same thing. Like he's nominated for awards for it constantly because he just, and The Devil Himself, the sequel. I wouldn't have even written The Devil Himself if Eric hadn't agreed to do it. I was like, no one else can be Kellen. I won't even write a sequel unless you'll do it. And and he did. But in the meantime, while I was writing The Devil Himself, Eric asked me to write for him for Quinn. He was like, I'm thinking about doing this audio erotica app. I need to do a story a week and I need a writer. And I was like, "Pfft, I'm far too busy for that. Are you kidding?
Mhm.
I'm writing a very serious novel at the moment, sir." And then I got writer's block. And I swear, it's like the universe, it just guides me. It just opens
Mhm.
doors that I'm supposed to walk through and it closes doors that I'm not supposed to walk through. And I just have to pay attention. But I didn't pay it. I was beating my head against this closed door, which was the
Mhm.
devil himself, the book. And I wouldn't come and it wouldn't come. And I would spend a whole day writing a paragraph. And I finally gave up and reached out to Eric and I said, fuck it. I'll do it. I'll write for Quint. Like, I got to write something.
Mhm.
And it was so much fun to just write whatever. We just make up any story we want and we get on calls and be like, oh, let's do a story about this. And we'd like brainstorm and I'd go write it and I didn't have to edit it. I didn't have to make it look pretty. Nobody was going to see it but him. I could just like dump all of my ideas on a page and send it to him. And then I was done. Like all the terrible parts about being an author, all of the hardest parts,
Mhm.
like marketing and editing, all that, don't have to do any of it. It was just the creative part, and it was light, like, Devil Himself was so heavy of a book that it was so much fun and such a breath of fresh air that I was like, we're doing this forever." And we've been doing it for almost 2 years now, which I
Aw,
can't
yeah.
believe, yeah. But in the meantime, all of that creative energy got got the gears greased for the devil himself, and I was able to go back and finish that book,
That's
and he narrated that, and it's just the best thing I've ever heard in my life. It turned out so great, but yeah, we click, like, we have such a great system because he's an idea guy, and I'm a, like, little workhorse, so I'm like, "Yeah,
mhm.
give me all the ideas," and then I'll go take them and, like, walk in the woods and dictate stories, and we just complement each other so well that I can't work with anybody. I'm such a lone wolf, but it's been amazing to finally have, like, a coworker and have somebody I can work with and have fun with and go to events like yours with. So,
Yeah.
it's been so great. We're having the best time.
Oh, well, he is hysterical. We're interviewing him in a couple weeks, and he our DMs are so unhinged, and I love it. He's so funny.
You're
But
gonna have a good time. Yeah, he's a we joke about us being chatty. He's chatty, so you're gonna have to give him, like, hand signals or a time limit or something. Like,
but that's
he's
why
got
I
that
love this
gift of gab.
podcast. I just let it go, and then I'll edit it later if I need to cut it down. I
There
don't
we go.
care. I just find the moment.
Yeah. You guys will have a good
So with
time.
that being said, and first of all, congratulations on everything. You're killing it, woman. Like I cannot wait to hear more about this TV show. I'm
Thank
excited.
you.
But so you are coming to Shadows and Seduction. What are you most excited about coming to the event?
I am most excited about meeting everybody.
Mhm,
Like we said, I really don't know that many other authors in the dark romance space because I
mhm,
came up it's like the genre that you write in when you first start publishing. I feel like that's when you make your author friends.
mhm.
Like Sierra Simone talks about having author siblings. It's like
Yeah.
these people do what I do. We're all about the same uh grade,
Mhm.
like in school, but it's in your author career. And so all my friends are mostly like contemporary and rom-com and I'm really trying to meet more people in the dark romance space and get to know that world. So I'm just pumped to have the opportunity to rub elbows with all you great people.
Well, yes, and everyone's excited to meet you. I know a few authors that are like, I cannot wait to meet her just because I've gone to other events this year and they'd be like, I can't wait for Shadows. And
Yeah.
you are a little light in that life, my dear. Everyone loves you. You are such a sweetheart,
Thank
and we
you.
are so stoked to have you.
Thanks.
But real quick, how do people find you on socials?
I mostly am on Instagram. I'm
Okay.
author.bb.easton. And I'm on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I'm not posting on TikTok as much as I should be, but my ass is on there way more than I should be. At BB Easton, I think is my TikTok. But yeah, those are pretty
Awesome.
much the only two places I actually am on social media. I
Mhm.
have like Facebook and TikTok or whatever, no, X.
Yeah,
But I'm not there.
you're
You
not
won't find
there.
me there.
No.
Yeah.
Well, on behalf
I only have room in my life for two. That's it.
That's it. I just want to. I'm good. I'm kind of
Yep.
the same way though. I have X, I have Threads is a scary place. And then I have TikTok and Instagram, and Instagram's where I mainly live my life. So
Me
I'm just like,
too.
I'm good with just those two.
Yeah.
Well, on behalf of me and the rest of our collective, thank you so much for doing this. We love you to pieces. We cannot wait to see you.
Thank you.
Thank
I love you
you.
guys too. I'm so pumped. I can't wait to see you again in March.
All right, you guys. Well, please make sure you guys go ahead and follow Miss BB Easton on wherever you can find her on socials, Instagram and TikTok. And then make sure you guys tune in to the Dark Collective podcast every other Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.